Welcome to The Late Show, Scotland's first late-night talk show. I'm Ewan Cameron, and I've got a midweek sporting special of a show for you this evening. Why? Because we're about to meet one of Scotland's most recognisable figures. The Queen of Hearts is here! No, not that one, you idiot. I'm talking to Ann Budge, the most successful Edinburgh businesswoman who saved Heart Midlothian Football Club from extinction. Ann is here tonight. And you don't have to just take my word for it. I spent the morning asking some of her colleagues exactly what they thought of her. And working with Ann Budge is like...
a dream.
And what's she like to work for?
She's great. She's great.
She's great! More from the staff a little later. Now, she's a heroine in the eyes of many football fans. A woman who stepped in to rescue Hearts from potential oblivion. Not only saving it from financial ruin, but also finding a winning formula on the pitch and a winning moral compass off it. She's a Queen of Hearts, and she's on The Late Show tonight. Please welcome AnnBudge! Hello, Ann. Go and have a seat.
Thank you.
And we've got your favourite red wine as well, Ann.
Thank you very much.
You do like a glass of red wine?
I do indeed.
Before we do anything else, how's your day been?
It's been busy, as ever, but having said that, not quite as busy as Monday was.
True, with the transfer window. We might talk about that a little later. I was in your office today, and I hope you don't mind me saying this. I was in earlier this afternoon, and the news broke that the Hearts game against Aberdeen was being moved for TV to the Friday night, and Ann's face was like thunder. True or false?
Yes, I'm afraid that's true, yes.
You were not happy about that decision?
I do realise what the pressures are on the league from television and so on, but it's just once again the supporters are going to have a problem.
So you don't like Friday night football?
I don't mind Friday night football, but when you're talking about some of the distances that we're talking about, and in this case we're clearly looking at Aberdeen supporters having to get down to Edinburgh for 7:45, and then
it's asking a lot, even the Hearts fans who are getting home from work and then rushing to get to Tynecastle.
Exactly.
So I did see Ann looking rather angry today in her office, but you've calmed down now. You've had a wee glass of red wine. You ready for this?
I am indeed.
Good. It's great to have Ann Budge here with us tonight. We'll chat properly in a minute, but first let's have a quick look at you and your rise with Hearts.
One thing that we've got here is an awful lot of hard work, and everybody is thoroughly enjoying it and putting in everything they possibly can.
Perhaps we may see other scenes like this in the future here.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Thanks very much.
Ann Budge used to be known as an IT entrepreneur, a woman with a successful 30-year career in the computer industry, winning accolades like Entrepreneur of the Year in 2005 and Woman of Outstanding Achievement in 2009. Accolades turned into acclamation in 2014 when she became Queen of Hearts, owner and chairperson of Heart of Midlothian Football Club.
Ann Budge.
Ann Budge.
Good evening, Ann Budge.
But who is Ann Budge and what makes her tick? She was brought up in North Edinburgh, one of 5 children to a docker dad and cleaner mum who instilled in her traditional values of hard work, honesty and doing her best. She was glamorous, winning West Pilton's Gala Queen in 1960. Intelligent and capable, passing 5 hires at Trinity Academy, which took her to Strathclyde University and a degree in psychology. Ann officially retired in 2009 from a successful career in computing that earned her a multi-million-pound fortune. For many people, that would have been that, but saving Hearts in 2014 from financial oblivion was just a start, the first step in a new era. She wants football to thrive and appears to have found the formula, with Hearts topping the league last season, winning promotion and challenging for a place in Europe this season. Her achievements for the club off the pitch have been just as impressive. Ann Budge has saved Hearts from disappearing from Scottish football and implemented changes that have steered not just Tynecastle in a new direction, but arguably Scottish football as a whole. How do you feel watching that back?
It's a bit surreal, really. It's not that long ago, but it feels like a long time ago.
Did we get anything wrong?
You did not, no.
So you were a Gala Queen?
I was indeed.
A glamorous Gala Queen.
I don't know about that. I was only 12. Not sure it was very glamorous.
Can I take you back to your early years? in all the stories I've read about you, you do talk fondly of your parents. They were a huge influence on you, weren't they?
Oh yes, yes. We were a large family. You know, I have three sisters, one brother. We lived in a relatively modest, shall we say, council flat, quite close to each other. You know, so a lot of people in a relatively small flat. But yeah, they were. They just believed in hard work, and you know, you get out of life what you put into it. All these good old, well, bits of advice, really.
You love school. You're a gifted pupil. Did you know what you wanted to be when you were at school?
Not for a minute. When I went to my secondary school, I had a notion to do languages, so I did a number of languages. By the time I was leaving secondary school, I was bored with languages, so I was looking for something else to do.
What languages were you learning at the time?
I did Latin, French and German.
And do you remember any of them?
Not an awful lot. A little bit of French because I did sell my business to a French company, but, you know.
You chose to study psychology at university. Why?
Because it was different. I went to Strathclyde because I felt it was different. The curriculum was more varied. I applied, as you always did, to a number of universities. And in all the other cases, well, I applied to do law at Aberdeen, and I applied to do languages as my kind of safe option at Edinburgh and Glasgow. And I applied to do business administration, which is what the course was called, at Strathclyde. And you could then take a mix of 5 different subjects.
Right.
And they were all different. So I thought, I don't really want to do languages again. And I got the offer from Strathclyde before I got the offer from Aberdeen. So that's why I went to Strathclyde.
Would you want to talk about computers?
I can indeed, yeah.
In the 1970s, you decided to get involved in computers. Was that a brave move in that decade to do that?
If I'm completely honest, it was a little bit of serendipity. And I'm not sure I even knew what a computer was, to be honest.
So you didn't even know what you were getting yourself into when you got involved with computers?
When I graduated from university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a casual conversation with my sister one day, who worked in an office in Edinburgh, and she said, I believe computers are the thing of the future. So when I was then asked...
So your sister had the vision?
She did indeed.
Not you. So you've got to thank your sister for where you are today.
Oh, for many things, yes. Yeah. So when I was asked, I then said, I believe computers are the thing of the future. That was it. I was sent for an aptitude test, and the rest, as I say, is history. Apparently I did very well in the aptitude test, and that was it.
And it did take you all over the world, didn't it? Eventually.
Eventually,
a lot of
yes.
hard work, but it did take you all over the world. And you've done well through computers, thanks to your sister.
Yes, it did eventually all work out. I discovered years later, I was within a hair's breadth of not making it in the graduate intake because I didn't know anything about computers. I'd gone in, we had an 8-week training course, and it wasn't making any sense to me. And I still remember to this day that moment when I was sitting there trying to do some sort of exercise, and suddenly it clicked. And I thought, gosh, that's what they've been talking about all this time. And I was that close, apparently, I subsequently discovered, to basically being told, sorry, Anne, this is not for you. So was
it your sister that actually clicked? Did you go and speak to her again? What am I doing wrong? What can I do to carry on this as my career?
Well, I have to say, the same sister came to work for me a few years later and worked for me for the best part of 20 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've got a lot to thank her for.
And you've done well out of it.
Yes.
Financially as well.
Yes.
I mean, what a magnificent career. Could you have even envisaged where it have ended up? At what point did you know you thought, at what point did you think I've made it? You were that successful, you had the success.
I think a few years into running your own business, when you have actually managed these first 2 or 3 years that are very, very difficult, you can actually see that, actually, with a bit of luck, next year's going to be quite good. We've got sustainable business, it's not all got to be new. You've got clients who trust you. So a few years into it, you thought, yes, we're okay.
Very briefly, you could have quite easily walked away and had a beautiful, lovely retirement. You decided not to and go and save hearts. Just very briefly, was that an easy decision? And we'll get into that shortly.
Well, I always had a complete dread of waking up one day and saying, so what am I going to do today? I couldn't ever imagine myself being retired. That said, I didn't ever imagine myself running a football club. Okay. So, difficult.
Ann Budge is here with us today, and here's what some of your staff had to say after the break. Have you ever been told off?
No, but I do know she's got a slipper down the side of her desk. We've got to watch for that one.
Welcome back to The Late Show, Scotland's first late night talk show. I'm Ewan Cameron, and tonight my interviewing dreams have come true because I'm chatting to the Queen of Hearts herself, Ann Budge! Straight back to the questions, Ann. Let's talk about Hearts.
Yep.
There's a lot of fans watching tonight who want to hear all about Hearts.
Okay.
First of all, is it true that your daughter got you into football when she bought you a season ticket for you to kind of like chill out and get away from work?
That's almost true. She certainly got me into football. However, she bought me a ticket, and then when I said it was really good, I really enjoyed it, she said, great, so you will buy us season tickets then.
So she didn't give you the season ticket, that's what I was led to believe. A ticket, and then you had to buy the season tickets for everyone else.
After that.
And you were hooked, I take it?
I was hooked. I realised it was the first time, the only time really in the week, that I totally switched off. I had to concentrate so hard to begin with to really understand what was going on. So yeah, it was great.
And how did that interest in the team turn into you taking over the club?
Well, we continued as season ticket holders for a number of years. The real catalyst, I think, was Gary Mackay, because on one occasion Gary approached us and asked if we would sponsor a lunch for the physiotherapist who was leaving, and we did that. So he then kind of knew who I was. I was a season ticket holder, etc. That I loved Hearts. So when FOH, the Foundation of Hearts, was set up, and Gary was involved in these early days, they were looking for, well, who in the business community could we get to be supportive? So Gary very helpfully said, oh, I know who you could talk to, and Budge is a big Hearts supporter. And that was kind of how it happened.
And that's how it started for you.
Yeah.
When you look back now at that day, when you took over at Hearts, how close was the club to actually disappearing from the face of the earth? I mean, were we in a situation where Hearts were gone?
Without question, yes. Another couple of days and I think Hearts would have been gone.
So you took over on May the 11th. A couple of days longer, gone.
I think so, yes. Yes, there was absolutely no money. Absolutely no money. And I think the administrators had basically run out of options. So we had been working really, really hard for the previous 2 or 3 weeks to just try and get this deal over the line.
Did you have your doubts?
Did
you ever at any point where you just thought, I can't do this, and were you ever at any point walking away from it?
There were times when I had my doubts that it would happen, because you would feel as if you had made some progress and then something would happen in Lithuania and suddenly it was sort of 2 steps back again. And so there were times when I thought, are we ever actually going to get this? But clearly we did. So there were no doubts from my perspective about did I want to do it, would I do it? It was more, are we going to be able to do it?
I take it at that time, did you fear that the club had gone? Even with your input and all the backing that was coming your way, did you fear that the club was going to go no matter what you did?
I think in these moments I did, because if our deal had fallen through, there was nothing else. So, it wasn't as if some other option was available. Yeah. So if our deal hadn't gone through, then the club was gone.
Some great initiatives that you have brought to the club, the living wage, Save the Children sponsorship, but also what I'm interested in, Friday lunches with all the staff and players. Everyone gets together on a Friday and have lunch together.
Yeah. When I was doing a little bit of due diligence before the deal went through, and I would pop into Tynecastle and ask some questions, I picked up the vibe that there was a bit of a split. So there was the people who worked at Tynecastle, and there were the, the players who were up at Riccarton. And almost never the twain shall meet. And so when I came in, I thought, this isn't right. We're all part of the club here.
Yeah.
Everybody's working hard, the players and, the staff. And we should get to know each other.
Mucking together.
Absolutely.
It's funny you should mention the staff, because I was down at Tynecastle earlier. Let's take a wee look at what the staff have got to say about you and Budge at Tynecastle. Let's have a look. Can't believe I've dropped a coffee. Do you think that's going to need painting? Nobody will notice, surely. Don't tell anybody. You work with Ann Budge.
I do.
What's she like to work for?
Very approachable, very down to earth, and very nice lady.
And working with Ann Budge is like...
A dream.
And what's she like to work for?
She's great. She's great.
She's great! She's great!
She's good. She makes you laugh. She laughs at my jokes, so that's good.
Somebody does then.
Correct, yeah.
It's a sympathy laugh, mate.
Is it?
Aye.
All right,
She told me that.
All right, okay.
Scott Gardner, Chief Operating Officer here at Hearts. How you doing, mate?
Excellent, thank you.
I'm not so sure about the white chino things you got on.
I told you they're Prada and they're not chinos.
We have such a history.
We have.
Not that kind of history, because we're both very happy in our relationships, aren't we, Claire?
We're very happy.
Yes. Do you know you look like Kate Beckinsale?
Well, I've been told that today for the very first time. Thank you very much.
Abby.
Don't believe it's true.
I can see you in a leather jumpsuit.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Well, having worked for Alan Sugar, having worked for David Murray, both different characters, Anne has been completely different, an absolute pleasure. I wouldn't say that she's cured my acne and my hair's grown back in.
We fell out a couple of times as well, didn't we?
Well, yeah, I banned you from Murrayfield, remember?
Yes, you did.
So you said. But I didn't really. I just told you couldn't do your football phone-in.
Have you ever been told off?
No, but I do know she's got a slipper down the side of her desk. We've got to watch for that one.
Have you ever found yourself in trouble with Ann Budge? Has she ever told you off for anything?
Yes, we did actually have a P45 moment when we won the championship last year, and someone told me it would be a good idea to pour the champagne over Anne's head. It was going all well until I seen her face with her dripping wet hair with the champagne, but she took it in great spirit. And
So for a split second you thought, I've just made a major error there.
I would suggest it was for a wee bit longer than a split second. I was thinking about 5 minutes. I was sitting there thinking, well, it was nice working here while it lasted and going out on a high. But no, I mean, listen, she's got a wicked sense of humour as well. And she takes things on board. And I think she secretly quite liked the fact that, she had to take off a very expensive blouse to replace it with a Hearts Championship winning jersey.
You can send me the cleaning bill, by the way, Anne, for that. I did spill coffee all over reception. Thank you to all the staff at Tynecastle for taking the time out to speak to us. Questions from fans. I'm going to fly through as many as we can.
Okay.
Lots of questions on this. Graham Nash, will Anne promise not to sanction the sale of Billy King to Rangers and more generally not sell players to our competitors?
I could just very easily say I don't get involved in the football decisions. But
As a football fan?
As a football fan, no, I think we invest in these young guys. Billy's gone to gain some experience, some, game time, and hopefully he will be back and we will be we'll benefit from it.
Stuart McInnes, Anne, do you have any plans to stay on after your tender is over?
I think what I've said to a few supporters in the past is if I feel I'm still able to add anything to the process, and if they still want me, then I'm not in any hurry to go.
Question from Andy Morris. Is now a good time to get our management team tied up on a new long-term contract?
It is.
Is it happening?
It is.
I take it you're in discussions then, Anne?
That's correct.
So you're in discussions now, and when would you hope to make an announcement?
Oh, give me a couple of weeks yet.
Hearts fans will be happy to hear that. That's the entire backroom staff and the team that are there just now.
We know what we've got to do. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good news for the Hearts backroom staff. Gordon Senior, could you ask Her Majesty when plans for the new stand are being released? Lots of questions on this about the new stand, the new main stand.
Well, we've got the Design work being finalised as we speak. There is a study that's been commissioned, which the results of which we should get by the end of February. So all being well, sometime in March we should be able to disclose a lot more information.
And just to reiterate, the likes of Robbie Nielsen, the backroom staff, will be getting signed up for new deals in the next couple of weeks, yeah?
As I say, we're constantly talking.
Good. And Ross Kelly wants to know if you'll marry him.
Well, I've been married twice before. Clearly it's not for me.
And one final question that all the Hearts fans are asking. And do you see a day when Hearts will not only challenge for the title but actually win it?
As a supporter, clearly I want to say yes. As the owner and currently running the club, absolutely no reason why not. Definitely.
Definitely, you've heard it here. That's the end of Wednesday's Late Show special and almost the end of Wednesday. Thank you to Ann Budge for coming in. We've really enjoyed it. Join us again tomorrow when I'll be talking to the Glasgow institution. That is me and Robert Miller. From Ann Budge and from all of us here in the Late Show team, have a great night. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.